We got the Titter Pig Rancher for the 10 banger. That's a name I've never seen before. At least I feel like I'd remember that name. Expedition 33 isn't woke by any metric. Apply Arch's metric. Asserted claim all that doesn't fit into the woke mind virus as examples of trad and good. Defy woke to actually support their beliefs. This is the thing, and we're going to get into this tonight, Titter Pig.
Yeah, no kidding.
The angle that specifically this character Yorch Torch has taken is the obvious, like I don't believe, and Leon, I'm glad you're back for this.
Didn't even think about answering the door in the Mario hat. That was interesting for my driver.
Oh, that's amazing.
Anyway.
Hey, give me my vodka in your Mario hat.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Let me ask you, and in all honesty, because I will give you my answer first, but I'm genuinely curious on your thoughts. Do you believe that Yorch Torch is actually serious and believes what he says? Because I don't.
Yes and no. I don't believe he's serious about the gaming aspect of it. However, I do believe and I hate that I'm about to use this word unironically because it's kind of been our whole brand and joke and whatnot, but I do believe he's actually that much of a bigot. So like when he says things like there's too many black people in this game, I do think he wants to get rid of black people in fucking media, but I don't think he cares about gaming.
That's the same as JDA, by the way, when he's like,
JDA as well. I truly think about JDA.
Like they are actual bigots. Like I know you're right. I never even thought of it like that. Like there are actual bigots.
I hate saying that because our whole thing is like the majority of people aren't like this. The majority of us just want normalcy back. However, I do think JDA and Yorch Torch games and a few others that aren't quite as prominent are legitimate bigots, and that pisses me off as somebody who like loves making racist jokes, but also went and spent the fucking week with Atreus and Kata, and we had a fucking blast. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. Could you imagine Yorch Torch hanging with Atreus and Kata?
He wouldn't be able to handle the roast, bro. It was wild. We were all catching smoke. It was great. I imagine he'd be like, because I think that he and their ilk are modern day snowflakes. Like we'd all be making jokes and shit, and like he would actually get upset. There was one person like that at the meetup. I'm not gonna name a name, but like we were all talking shit to one another, and then one person was a really stone faced, like, oh well. And it's like I think that's how they would be. Is they can't, they'll dish it out, but they can't take it.
Yep, 100%. I would agree with that. And one more, we got Mercenary in the house. It says, oh, this will lead us right into it. By the way, Gamergate 2 never stopped. We just need to kick out the bad actors. They are obviously infiltrators trying to take over for cash or to sabotage it, or both. Sabotage it for the cash.
I have it saved for my Monday show because this is going to be a large chunk of my Monday show.
Damn. Yorch Torch Games, who somehow has approached almost 10,000 followers on X. He is growing rapidly.
I'm at 1,500. This motherfucker's at 10K nearly. I'm so upset he's spaghetti.
I mean, theoretically, they're all real people, but that's theoretically.
You know what? Fair enough. Theoretically, I get, yeah.
Gamers. The Expedition 33 reports are true. What? Hold up. This guy is a journalist. That's what journalists do. They just invent a narrative and run with it. What reports? Who was saying anything about the report?
Honest question. If Alyssa Mercante and you didn't have a lawsuit going on, let's just suppose a hypothetical, who would you think was actually the worst journalist? It still might be her, but I'm curious. Like, is it yours or her?
Well, I mean, it depends on where, like, would she still be at Kotaku? Would she have left Kotaku? Like, all things where she is.
Let's say she's still talking on X to you. Let's say she's still at Kotaku. Let's say the lawsuit doesn't exist. Who's worse, her or him?
Oh, her.
Okay.
Because if she's still at Kotaku, she still has the brand behind her with Geo Media pushing it to masses.
Gotcha. Okay, that's a good answer.
Which, that's why I asked if she's still there or not. Because if she's not there and she's not suing me, I wouldn't even give a shit. I'd be like, who cares about her? She's a nobody, whatever. But I don't know if I quantify Yorch Torch as a journalist anyway. I almost feel like this is you want to know what's worse than a journalist? A wannabe journalist. which is what I look at him
him as a journalist, but only because I believe in so little journalists. He peddles the same bullshit that they do from the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like, oh yeah, you're just as slop as the rest.
Yep.
I consider people like you, Hypnotic, Joe Rogan, and to an extent myself, I'm going to glaze myself a little bit,
there you go,
as actual journalists, because what we're reporting on is, at least in my opinion, true, or if not true, it is true to us because we've all made mistakes and whatnot. But we aren't crafting narratives. We are reporting on what we see as what's going on in the world.
I just want the courts to recognize that I do not agree with Leon. I am an internet entertainer and retard. I am not a journalist. Continue.
Well, I was going to say, so the definition of journalist, give me one moment here to pull it up. So, because I didn't used to either. I thought it was a joke, but it's the definition of journalist: a person who writes for newspapers, magazines, or news websites, or prepares news to be broadcast. And because of your website, Smash JT, you are a journalist, or because of me and my show, we prepare news, we present it, we give our opinions on it, and so we technically meet the legal qualifications of being journalists. We just don't want that label because, let's be real, journalism is a scam. It's dead.
It is. It's a grift. It's a grift, and I don't want to be associated with that. Like, they invent narratives like he's doing here, and then tries to knock it down or run with it depending on what the narrative is and if it fits his needs. How does a game that opens with a sundered early 1900s Paris set to a beautiful French song end up with a town full of characters straight from south of midnight? Like, first off, hold up. It breaks the immersion. It disrespects European culture. First off, I could guarantee, in my humble opinion, that this dude never played this game. That he literally watched the opening video and it was just like, let me find black people. Perfect. That fits my narrative. And take a screenshot, and great. Would you agree with that?
Not only do I agree with it, but I don't think, because you said earlier on SNH, what is his tweets and the ad revenue amount to do? $30? That ain't even enough to cover the sound. Midnight.
I would argue
on sale. No, go on for it.
I was just gonna say, I would argue it might not. I said 30, but I'm like, it might not even be. It might be like $15 or $20 a month, maybe, for living on the platform. I'm like, bro. But anyway, everyone's gonna start somewhere. So maybe he started at $1. Now he's at 15, and he's thinking maybe 3 years from now he'll be at 150, and then 5 years he'll be at 1,500. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know, but go on.
And I mean, by all means, we're all in this sort of get followers, get content creations, that whole. And I applaud the. If Yorch is good at one thing, I'll say with spite in my tongue, he's at least dedicated to his grift, and you know what? That's something. But anyone can Google the opening cutscene to this game. Also, he posted the opening, a screenshot of the opening cutscene. There's not even that many black dudes in it. If you're gonna make a fucking post,
I didn't even notice. Like, first off, I looked at this. I'm like, where are the black people in this picture?
As if that's, by the way, as if that's a negative thing. Like,
right. I mean, that we haven't even gotten to the second part. We haven't even gotten to that part.
Fair enough.
I'm just going by the wait. He said there's too many black people. I'm like, fucking where? I guess here one.
Yeah, you got one. Most of these people that maybe could be quote unquote black are just shrouded in shadow. Like the guy to the right, that maybe it's a black guy, or maybe it's because the shadows of the way the light's falling.
Three black people. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
But it's just so
four. Oh, but that might be the shadow.
There's shading.
So we got 4 black. By the way, do you notice I don't even see color when I'm like, wait. Oh, now I have to actually like look. Do you notice that, by the way? Like, some people go through life.
I just counted the number of individuals on screen. There is 21 people on screen. If 4 of them are black, I'm sorry, that's fucking fine.
By the way, this is this would be a curated screenshot to make sure you maximized how bad something looks too. Because when I played through it, I don't recall seeing any black people. Although at the same time, I don't play my games looking for black people. That's not how I play games. That doesn't even enter my mind.
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I love Final Fantasy 15. It's actually in my top 5 Final Fantasy games. I'm sure there's black people in that game.
Mhm.
I
But
don't
for the
remember
life
them.
of you wouldn't
That
be able
doesn't
to.
mean they're not there, but I don't remember there being black people in Final Fantasy 15 because I don't fucking look for
Right.
black NPCs. It's just not something I do.
Like the thing would be like, I think what's important is to find out the intent. The intent of the developers. Are they wokies trying to push an agenda, or are they just making a game that's fun and you want to play it? And
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 takes place in a relatively historical accurate medieval Europe. This is a fictionalized post-apocalyptic or post some sort of fantastical setting France in damn near the 21st century. They're not the same, they're not comparable. Now, I didn't agree with the backlash against Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but even if I did, these aren't the same.
right, they're not.